classifying numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, and imaginary numbers. These words and classifications come up in the radicals unit frequently, and it is important to understand the difference between them. At the beginning of the year, you watched a video about the real number system. Everything you've covered in math class up until now has been talking about real numbers. We have our natural numbers, which start at 1, and they're whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Our whole numbers, which are the same as natural numbers except we add in 0. We have our integers, which are the positive and negative whole numbers, going to positive and negative infinity. And here's what we're focused on today. We have rational numbers, irrational numbers, and imaginary numbers. So when we talk about rational numbers, we're talking about anything that can be written as a fraction. That means any of these, natural, whole, or integers, such as -3 or -16. It means anything that's already a fraction, whether it's a mixed number or an improper fraction, or just a fraction. Any decimal that ends or terminates, and any repeating decimal. What we're now focused on is radicals. So if we take the square root of a perfect square, such as 16, that simplifies to the number 4. Therefore, that is a rational number. In fact, it's also an integer, a whole number, and a natural number. If we take the negative square root of a perfect square, such as the negative square root of 9, that's also a rational number because we end up getting -3. It's also an integer. Because it's negative, it's not a whole number or a natural number. However, if we take the square root of 2, since we don't know the square root of 2, and if we were to type it into a calculator, we would see that it's a decimal that never ends and does not repeat. We call that an irrational number. Earlier in the year, we wrote these in here, but we didn't fully understand what they mean. When you take a root of a number that isn't a perfect nth power, so a square root of something that's not a perfect square, or a cube root of something that's not a perfect cube, we call that number irrational. When you take a square root or a cube root or any root of a number that is a perfect whatever power we're talking about, such as the cube root of 27, that comes out as rational. We can have a negative sign on the outside of the square root to make it a negative version of that same number, and it won't change whether it's rational or irrational. It will simply change where it is on the number line. For example, the square root of 16 was at 4, and the negative square root of 16 is equivalent to -4. But if we have a negative sign in a square root, such as the square root of -16 or the square root of -7, we end up with an imaginary number. This is true for square roots, fourth roots, sixth roots, anything that has an even index. And that's because nothing squared is going to give us -16. Nothing squared is going to give us any negative number. So what's the difference between the types of number for the square root of 9 and the square root of 13? Well, we know that the square root of 9 is the same thing as 3. The square root of 13 is actually as exact as possible because this is an irrational number. If I wanted to estimate it as a decimal, I could say it's about 3.6. And if I type it into a calculator, I'd get 3.605551275. But we know that that actually keeps going. If I had a bigger calculator, it would go even further. So we call this number rational because it simplifies to an integer or something that we could write as a fraction. So let's generalize this. The square root of 9, square root of 1, square root of 36, square root of 100, square root of 49, square root of 64, and square root of 81 all simplify to whole numbers. Every radicand is a perfect square. In the next line, the negative square root of 9, negative square root of 1, etc. These all also simplify to, in this case, integers. So both lines are integers. The top row is whole numbers because they were all positive. And again, this is because all of the radicands are perfect squares. Therefore, all of these radicals are rational numbers, which is our focus. Rational numbers. The square root of 13, square root of 3, square root of 109, square root of 17, square root of 72, and square root of 91 are all irrational numbers. And that's because the radicands are not perfect squares. So since the radicand is not a perfect square, we can only estimate the value as a decimal. In reality, the decimal goes on forever and does not repeat or terminate. Again, the word terminate means end. Now we are on to the next type of number. So the square root of any negative number is called an imaginary number. This is because we cannot take the square root of a negative number. If you wanted to visualize a square root, we know that if we were taking the square root of 9, then we would say how long is the side length of a square with an area of 9. The square root of 9 is 3 because the area was 9 and the side length was 3. If we wanted the negative square root of 9, that's just the opposite of the square root of 9. But this is saying that the square has a negative area. That doesn't make any sense. We also know that in order to take a square root, we're saying what number times itself equals negative 9. Since a negative times a negative equals a positive, and a positive times a positive equals a positive, we can never square a number to get a negative number. Your task is going to be to classify numbers as rational, irrational, or imaginary. If you don't have this sheet, then you could just do these 6 examples as practice. I'm going to look across and decide which of these are rational, irrational, and imaginary. The square root of 3, well, 3 is not a perfect square, so this is irrational. The square root of 16, I know simplifies to 4, so this is rational. The square root of 1 simplifies to 1, so this is rational. The square root of negative 4, well, I can't take the square root of a negative, so therefore this is imaginary. The square root of 9 is going to be rational. We've already talked about it. It's 3. And the square root of 8 does not come out as an integer, so this is going to be irrational. Then we're going to actually color in the boxes all the way to the edges. And when you finish doing the entire grid, and you squint your eyes and use your imagination a little bit, then you will see a picture. One quick caution. We've talked about how the square root of a negative is imaginary because 3 times 3 is 9, and negative 3 times negative 3 is also 9. We can't multiply a number times itself to get a negative. But we can cube a number to get a negative. So the cube root of negative 27 is not imaginary. We know that 3 cubed, or 3 times 3 times 3, equals 27. And we also know that negative 3 cubed equals negative 27. Therefore, the cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. In other words, the square root of a negative, or any even root like a 4th root of a negative, would be imaginary. But a cube root, or a 5th root, or a 7th root, those can have a negative radicand. So we could get a rational or an irrational number. In this case, because we know the cube root of negative 27, it is rational. Thanks for watching.